Attention!
Welcome to the Film Mages Podcast, where the popcorn is our ammunition, the couch is our foxhole, and the cinema is our place of worship.
Now let me see your war face. Ah!
Amazing. Are we on the air?
We're on the air.
We are on the Film Majors is live.
Alexis, are you on the air?
I do believe I am.
You're
Amazing.
on the air. Wow. Hello, everyone. Welcome. We are the Film Majors. I am Zach.
I'm Mick.
Alexis.
That is Alexis. Alexis, where are you zooming in from today?
Today I am in Seattle. I can literally see the Space Needle from my hotel out here.
Ooh.
Wow.
I
as a little child living in Washington, my dad would always tell me that the Space Needle was actually a rocket ship that would take off and go to Mars. And it made me really mad as a child because I was like, I love space and that's fucking bullshit.
that is bullshit. It's
Yeah.
very clearly a UFO that landed on top of a spire, and they're like, let's just make
See,
that.
you're thinking about the World's Fair statues
Oh, right, from Men
in
in Black.
Queens.
That's
yeah.
right. Because why else would they put it in
Why
Queens?
else would they put it in Queens?
Exactly.
Well, Alexis, how are you enjoying Seattle?
Yeah. Are you sleepless? That's a film reference, people.
I did actually say that to my sister when we turned around and we were like, oh shit, we can see the Space Needle from here. And then I was like, sleepless in Seattle. I've been making her do like little random, oh my god.
What's happening?
I don't know. I don't know what it is about this corner, but people with motorcycles like to go past here. So
They know we're recording. Oh, we have a cameo.
Mom, please stop.
Who is that? That's Dolores. Hello. I think we have a fourth film major today.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
We'll one
see
of
what
these
happens.
film majors. Technically, this show is brought to you by Dolores.
Yeah.
In a certain sense.
Hey, Alexis.
In a certain sense,
Could
yes.
you do me a favor? I honestly
Yeah.
have not seen Dolores in so long. Could you ask her what's going on for me?
God, that was smooth.
Was it? Oh, that's good.
It's okay.
That's one of my better ones, I
I
think.
liked it.
Wow. You know what?
But seriously, what is going on with Dolores? That wasn't just a plug. Like, I want to know what's going on with your mom.
So, my mom found this like old video camera from back when I was in middle school that she like never let me borrow when I was younger, and it's like a Sony like Panasonic like handheld little video camera.
I don't even know how to work.
And
The Sony
I
Panasonic,
have
gotcha.
I have been like fucking like just off the wall. So annoying putting this camera in
Shit's
everyone's
been off the
faces.
chain.
I made Natalie do a line from fucking Twilight while we were in the woods in Canada.
I made my sister do a line.
Wait, were you in Canada?
Yeah, we went all the way up the West Coast and then into Canada, and now we're coming back down inland. So like we went.
Keep going. I want to know what places you, because I was born in Washington, so I want to know where you went.
You were born in Washington?
Okay,
I didn't know
so
that.
first, well, obviously we stopped in Arcata because my sister had never been to like Humboldt and stuff, and then
Really?
we went. Yeah, she never visited me up there, so
Oh, wow.
she'd never been there before. So we stayed the night at Allison's for a couple of nights. Shout out Allison and Brad. Thank you for
Yeah,
hosting.
we love you, Brad. We love you, Allison.
And then hung out with Soch, and then let's see here. We went up to where was the next place? Oh, Yachats. We went and stayed in Yachats.
So wow,
I said Yachats.
Yeah,
and like
you were
this
right.
lady,
You were right.
this lady
that's 8
corrected
miles
me,
from
and
my
I was
house
like,
where I grew
okay.
up. That's crazy. Yeah, I
Yachats,
grew up.
We
I grew up
passed by
around there.
Newport, obviously, where Mick is from.
Wait, hold on.
And
Hold on,
then,
Alexis.
we went to-
You're burying
what?
the lead. Did you drive through Waldport? Because that's in between
no.
Newport and Yachats.
Did we?
It's
We
the
might
town that
have.
connects
I'm not
them.
sure. We stopped in Astoria to look at the Goonies house.
Nice.
And then, where did we sleep the next night? We slept the next night in Ocean Shores, and then we went up and we stopped in Forks.
I was gonna ask if you stopped in Forks.
I've been to Forks.
Is it blue-green there still?
Strangely
is there a
enough,
blue filter
it
on
was
it?
a little kind of like cloudy, so it was giving like this cool tone to it. There was no green, but I could pretend a little.
Hey, Alexis,
But then
fun fact
I was
about
looking
Forks,
it up, and I was like, "Oh,
it's
most of these
always
places aren't even
cloudy
here." So we're
there.
actually going to stop at the school, the exterior of the school in Oregon tomorrow. And I'm going to
Amazing.
do the the Loco, where you been on the video camera.
Nice. Amazing.
Loca, where you been?
Loco, where you been? It's gonna be
Nice.
fun. Yeah, and then we went. Have you ever been to Lake Crescent in Washington? That shit is so fucking pretty.
No.
It's like
think
before you get
so.
to Port Townsend.
I not positive.
Okay, yeah. So then Lake Crescent, Port Townsend. We took a ferry up to this place called Oak Harbor, and we stayed there for the night before we went into Canada the next day. And we stayed in Vancouver for 2 nights, and then we just left Vancouver today to come down to. We went to a nudist beach today.
Oh damn!
Oh, really? Were you nude, or were
Well,
you
it was-
just one of the clothes people?
Well, as my mom would say, we almost couldn't stop my sister from, trying to do her thing out there. I'm just kidding. Like, I'm just kidding.
Keyword being almost.
My mom is literally for some reason has decided she's lost her calling of being a comedian, and she started making up stories about what has been happening on the trip that she says she's going to tell everybody when we get back.
Nice. That's great.
Well, record one of those. We'll insert it into the episode.
Exactly. At the nudist beach, rocking the Crocs and nothing else.
Yeah, I mean, I
So
did
you
actually.
didn't-
They saw a nude guy. I also saw a nude guy. So I saw some butt cheeks.
Cool.
So living
All
my
right,
best life out
classic.
here.
Amazing.
So you didn't happen to hit Port Angeles, Washington?
We went through it. We stopped in Port Angeles, but then we went
Is
to
that-
Sequium. This is the next little town over between that and Port Townsend. They're very close
Yeah,
to each
but
other.
Port Angeles. Port Angeles is usually where I take the ferry from when I'm gonna go see my grandparents who live in Canada. And then you didn't happen to hit Bellingham, Washington?
We did hit Bellingham. We actually went to Whole Foods while we were in Bellingham.
Birthplace of Zach Harris.
Wow. Look at that. Wow. You hit his birthplace. You hit my birthplace. Wow.
I'm just
Alexis
making my
going
rounds
on-
out here.
She's
Alexis going
retracing our steps.
on a film major's history tour.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if any listeners want to do that, start down in Fresno and then move your way up to Walport and get yourself to Bellingham.
Yeah. I mean,
You can do a whole trip of the West Coast and chart the history of the film majors.
Yeah,
and that's
even-
also chronological because
That's
you'll end
true.
on the last one.
You'll end on the youngest.
Oh, that's true
Yeah,
because
That's
you're
true.
the youngest.
You'll start old, then you'll go meet oldest,
fair.
I should say. But yeah, no, that's crazy. Also, if you don't care about where we come from, that's just a beautiful fucking drive.
Oh,
So
yeah.
you should just do that anyways.
Alexis,
yeah,
that sounds awesome.
I must admit, I actually think that I like Washington more than Canada, based on what I'd seen so far.
yeah,
but
it's America.
obviously, I didn't get to go really deep into Canada. So
That's right.
Yeah.
America's still on top. You heard it here.
I think Vancouver, you kind of want to explore with a group of friends. Maybe not family.
I thought you were going to say Vancouver, you got to explore that drunk. You got to be drunk for
'cause,
Vancouver.
I mean, I didn't say
was-
that.
oh,
But
I
that's what you
missed-
meant.
I missed a Pride festival there by one day. We got there too late on Sunday, and I didn't even we were oh, there's a bunch of people with rainbow shit around here, and then I was like, fuck, I fucking missed my people, man. Bummer
did-
summer.
I went on a really nice bike tour of Vancouver with my mom and Edwin a few years back. It's a very bikeable city.
Like bicycles
It
or
is.
wild hogs? Like the Tim Allen film.
Yeah, it was.
With John
we went.
Travolta,
Yeah,
Martin Lawrence,
Yeah,
and
thank you,
William H.
thank you for
Macy.
bringing up Wild Hogs.
Ray Liotta's in that.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Yeah, he is.
I have a question.
Yeah, Tim Allen was our
Have
tour
either
guide.
of you guys
What's
seen
up?
Uncle Buck before?
No.
No, but I bet you some Canadians were talking to you about it.
No, but I have actually heard a Canadian say A now. Like, he was saying, "Oh, you're a native A." Like, I was like behind with my sister, and I was like, "I heard it. I heard them do the
Stereotypes are true.
Yeah, try it. Just,
very
like have a conversation with my parents. They'll get there eventually.
Yeah. Interesting. Wow. Well, that sounds like a fun journey you've been on. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well,
so hopefully I can cut together a video of it, and it'll be kind of funny.
Yeah,
My mom's been saying some kind of out of pocket shit. It's been fun.
which is very in character for her. Let's admit, she's all out of pocket.
Well, speaking of going on a journey and cutting together some video, I had a pretty eventful weekend. I participated in the LA 48-hour film festival.
How'd that go?
It was really fun. So for those of you who don't know, 48-hour film project is an organization that exists in a few major cities in the U.S. And essentially the premise is you get 48 hours to make a short film. You're given a genre and then like certain elements that all of the groups who are in the competition have to incorporate into their films.
Yeah.
And then from 7 p.m. on Friday to 7 p.m. on Sunday, you get to conceptualize, write, shoot, and edit a short film that cannot be more than 7 minutes long.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I did that. I was I was part of the writing team and ran production, sound, and edited our short film, and I had a blast. I worked with Sage, who hosted the the Purge cast.
Yeah, our little bonus episode.
Yeah, go back and listen to that.
Check
we
it
had
out,
a blast
folks.
recording it. Yeah, I had a lot of fun shooting the movie, but a little word from the wise. So around midnight on Saturday, I started feeling kind of nauseous, and I went and slept, and I slept for like 3 hours because I had to wake up and edit, and I just like sweated my brains out as I was sleeping. And then Sunday night, I did the same thing, just super sweaty, and I'd kind of been like having just this like nauseous headache for like not the whole day, but like on and off since I started feeling bad on Saturday. And I assumed it was because I was regular exhausted. Turns out those are symptoms of heat exhaustion.
Yes, they are.
Which I realized last night when I was got back from the movie that I went and saw and was laying in my bed and was just like, am I going to die right now? I feel so bad. I'm so hot. I'm so nauseous. And I got up at around 2 in the morning and proceeded to puke my brains out.
When was this?
Last night.
Jesus. It's a good thing I wasn't here.
Yeah. No, I was very happy that you were not here.
Jesus. You are a very violent vomiter.
Yeah, no, it was bad.
Wow.
I don't puke often, but when I do, it's nasty.
Yeah, so when you do it, you make it count.
Yeah.
You make up for lost times.
So then basically, once an hour I'd get up and like, reapply cold water to myself to make sure that I wasn't overheating.
Where did you apply the cold water?
All over.
Nice, man.
Yeah, so I'm now finally have not experienced any nausea or dizziness today because I am actually taking care of myself in the way that you would if you had heat exhaustion.
Nice.
So if you've been out in the sun toiling away on a short film and you haven't been sleeping, and you start to feel bad, that's probably heat exhaustion. So go ahead and take care of yourself. Don't drink a whole bunch of caffeine. Yeah, see, that's the thing is, I was drinking water, but as I was working on the 48 hour
but in the form of coffee.
fest, I was also drinking. No, I wasn't drinking coffee. I was drinking Monsters, which I had never consumed before in my life.
Strike one.
God.
I had to.
You tree boys think you can get away with whatever out here in these desert
I've never
climates.
had a Monster. Ever.
Honestly, I thought they would be worse than they were. I think maybe I was just like so fucking out of it already that like drinking them didn't make me feel jittery. But yeah, I expected them to be worse, but they definitely did not help with heat exhaustion because you are not supposed to drink caffeine.
No, dehydrates you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that was my little odyssey for the weekend, but we did get the short film done,
Nice.
and I think it came out really well.
Great.
So
Where can we
I'm
watch
excited
it?
for that. You will not be able to watch it yet. I believe the LA 48-hour film festival happens on September 10th. So if we're selected as like
good.
one of the more
They have
fun,
it a day early.
okay. If we're selected as like one of the films to compete, then I believe we'll be showing our movie there.
Nice.
I'll keep you guys updated.
Yeah.
But eventually, it will be on Grant Garcia, the director's YouTube channel, Gregory Films.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool, man.
Yeah, it was a
nice.
blast.
Good for you.
Had a
Film
good
major
time.
making films.
Alexis, you have a question?
I do. I'm gonna plug that fucking film festival that I'm gonna be volunteering at. So next
Salute Your
weekend,
Shorts?
after this episode comes out, August 18th to the 20th is the Salute Your Shorts short film festival in LA. And the opening night panel on Friday night is going to be moderated by the Daniels, which are, if for people who don't know, the directors of A24's Everything Everywhere All at Once.
And Swiss Army Man.
And yeah, I'm not affiliated with this group, but I am volunteering and doing like bartending for the weekend. So
Fuck yeah.
Very cool.
Tight.
Nice.
I also... So if we had recorded on our planned recording date, I would not have seen any films in between our recording sessions. But I saw a new release last night.
What'd you see?
I went and saw Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles
Oh, really?
Mutant Mayhem.
Is that any good?
I had no intention of seeing it. I have absolutely no attachment to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I've never
Same.
seen anything Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle related.
I missed that boat, too.
I appreciate that the title really clues you into what the premise is.
Yeah.
Really tells you everything you need to know. This movie was a fucking blast.
Was it?
This was the biggest surprise of the year for me.
Wow.
Like, I did
gotta
not
take my nephew
expect
to see that.
they're gonna love it. They're gonna fucking love
great.
it. Like, I did not expect to like this movie as much as I did.
The animation's kind of similar to
Spider-Verse, a little
right?
bit. The cool thing, so I think the director also did The Mitchells versus the Machines, which I thought was a pretty solid animated movie. Came out on Netflix
That's
a couple
cute
years ago.
movie.
Yeah. So I believe he's the director of this. Seth Rogen was one of the writers and was a producer.
Oh, cool.
And yeah, just like so much care put into it. The art style, it is kind of similar to Spider-Verse, but it's more like they've talked about how they wanted the inspiration to be like, since, these are teenage characters, and it's like a concept that appeals to like that kind of age group.
Right.
They wanted to make the art style kind of look like, drawings that you might do in your notebook as like a middle schooler, where it's like there's a lot of care and attention to detail put into it, but like things are also kind of like lumpy and misshapen and don't necessarily look the same from like scene to scene. So I thought the art style was super cool. Great score by Trent Reznor. But holy shit, just like great voice cast, really, really fun script.
Nice.
Like
Good
very
family fun.
well staged action. Jackie Chan voices the Rat Man.
guy, yeah.
Oh my god, what am I not?
I can't,
Splinter.
I can't
Splinter.
help
There
you.
we go.
There you go.
There is a, not to spoil anything, but there is a fight scene that he has
Yeah.
where, as we all know, in any good Jackie Chan movie, he will kick the shit out of some people with a piece of furniture.
Is that
And
happening?
it happens,
good.
and when it did, I
Nice.
was delighted.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, if you have young people in your life, but also like if you're just looking for a good time at the movies, that's a really solid one. Again,
Nice.
I don't necessarily want to like plug studio stuff right now with the strike on,
Hey,
but it's a damn good movie, and we're not affiliated with them.
also,
Support the fucking writers.
I was gonna say, just because a studio is releasing it, it's the filmmakers that made it.
Yeah,
so
and
go support it.
I believe the stance of both of the unions has been, go to the movies, show
We don't want the
show
theaters
them
to
that
die.
show them that we're essential.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
That's
yeah,
great.
I really, really hot on that movie.
Nice.
I really enjoyed it.
Sweet. Very cool. I have seen nothing since our last recording. I've been very busy.
You've been a working man.
I've been a working man. It's been nice. I'm very thankful for it. But the only movie, I didn't see a new one, but the only film I have seen recently was Elvis. I finally showed it to Sam. She hadn't seen it before.
You're a fucking bad guy.
And she was like, "Oh, he was a pedophile, right?" I mean, it was like, "Yeah, kinda." But it's
What do you mean, kinda?
I was like, it's a bit more complicated than that. And she was like, she had some
What do you
reservations.
mean more complicated?
She had some reservations, and so we started watching it. And about halfway through, she looked at me and went, "Am I an Elvis fan now?" And
Yes,
I knew. Yes, that's correct. I was like, I paused the movie. I was like, this is, you understood the assignment. God, that movie's so good. It holds up. It so fucking holds up. It also doesn't, though, because there's a couple scenes where I'm like, this is terrible, but I love it. It's a movie that I dig, man, from beginning to end. It's fucking great.
It's so crazy how as we get closer and closer to 1 year of the podcast, like
There will be more Elvis content.
We're starting to circle back to things that we were talking about right at the beginning.
Expect me to talk a lot about Elvis and Barbarian in this upcoming month.
I can deal with the second one. The second one I'm quite excited for.
Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much been my life. That's what's been going on with Mick.
All right, and Alexis, traveling. You seen any films other than the one we're talking about?
I am on day 8 of this road trip. I have seen literally nothing. I think I watched half of Twilight when I was at Allison's house. Nice. And, sometimes I watch that movie and I'm just like, what fun. And then sometimes I watch that movie and I'm just like, what is happening?
Yeah. That was me watching Elvis the other night.
That's funny.
Oh, it's so bad
All right,
sometimes. Well, it's like so cringe
shall we
sometimes.
do it?
Yeah, I think we should dive right into it.
All right. Let's hop out of what's going on. And we're back.
Yeah, we're back.
We're back. It's our second episode of Back to School Month.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
The saga continues. And we've got another big topic for you for this one.
I don't know if it's a big topic, but it's a fun topic.
It's a topic.
It's a topic. It's
and
a topic
we're gonna
that we
talk
just
about
rattled
it.
off.
And that's what are the wildest on-screen voices?
Right. That an actor has made a personal choice.
Yeah, what are the craziest voice choices by an actor?
I would like to.
Mary Poppins. Fucking Dick Van Dyke.
That's probably the most famous one.
Yeah,
Dick Van Dyke.
That might be the most infamous
or
one.
at least the worst accent.
It is because
sure.
there's like a whole video on YouTube of just like people asking British actors who's done the worst British accent, and like 8 out of 10 times they were like Dick Van Dyke, Mary Poppins.
Dick Van Dyke, Mary Poppins, steady time.
Up the lie.
Yo, bamboo. Yeah, wait, no, that's from Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. I think about it. No, the one I just did.
Oh, okay. I was about to say I don't remember fucking any of Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. So,
God, that's such a good movie.
Never
I want to
seen
rewatch.
it.
That's a musical that I fucked with as a kid.
yeah.
That's a fun one. I have one that just I still to this day can't quite comprehend. Have y'all seen the remake of Magnificent Seven?
No, but
Yeah.
I kind of remember.
Okay,
You
do you remember Vincent D'Onofrio in that?
Vaguely, yes. I saw it when it came out in theaters, so I haven't seen it in a long time.
He was a big guy with a beard, and I think he had axes or something. Maybe that was a different character, but anyways,
Yeah.
he had this. He made this choice where, like, I can only describe it as like a kid who when he was in the womb, I went to high school with a kid who was a great football player, very nice guy, but when he was in the womb, apparently the umbilical cord was wrapped around his neck, which affected the development of his voice, of his vocal cords, right? And it made him really wheezy and up here all the time. That's just how he talked. It was really weird. And so in Magnificent Seven, you got this big motherfucker played by Vincent D'Onofrio, and if you don't know him, like he plays
Kingpin on the Daredevil show.
Yes,
he's Gomer Pyle in Full Metal Jacket.
Yeah, that's right.
He's also in Law and Order: Criminal Intent.
Well, he's also...
And he's in Men in Black.
I was about to say, I want to let you finish your thing, but on the other spectrum of wild voice choices that...
But that's a great one.
Yeah, it's weird, but it totally works. Made by Vincent D'Onofrio. Him as the bug in Men in Black.
Yeah.
You pull the wings off a fly. You dare to see a fly get even?
Yeah, in Magnificent Seven, he's just doing this high-pitch... wheezy voice where every time he speaks, it's like a joke. I don't know. It's like, and I don't know if it's supposed to be funny, but it's like a serious scene, and everyone's talking about like what hardships they have and how they have camaraderie and brotherhood amongst them as cowboys. And then we get to Vincent D'Onofrio's character, and he's like up here, he's talking like this. Hey guys, let's go in there and let's kick their ass. It's like what the fuck? Like who signed off on this? That's the one that sticks out the most to me.
Despite you saying that to me, that's like the first thing that's actually made me want to watch the Magnificent Seven reboot.
It might be the only part that's watchable. I really thought that was a stinker. But yeah, that's one. I'm also going to go with, I don't know if this was a weird voice choice. It kind of wasn't part of the director, but it's kind of like Dick Van Dyke where it's just a bad accent, but that's Brad Pitt in Snatch.
Yeah,
that's one of my personal favorites.
Like Dags.
Yeah, he's doing. I don't know what the fuck he's trying to do.
Well, again, as we discussed, I believe we discussed this on our very first episode.
That's right. The Gentleman, check it out.
Yeah, Brad Pitt's accent was so bad in that movie that Guy Ritchie made everyone else who was, with him do.
Yeah. This is a derogatory term, but they were playing pikeys.
Yes, everyone else who was playing a pikey had to dial their accent way fuck up to match Brad Pitt.
Which apparently all of the other British cast members loved. They were like, oh, hell yeah. Let's go nuts with this shit.
Yet when I go up to a British person and go, hello, top of the morning to you, they're mad at me for some reason.
Yeah. Apparently, I think they even did some rewrites in that story where it's let's actually have other characters not be able to understand.
They definitely
Brad
fucked
Pitt,
with the script.
Which is great. That's a great story right there. I love that.
Yeah.
Use what you have.
Okay, so one that I would like to... In fact, no. Two that I would like to mention are both from films that released on Netflix. One in 2019, one in 2020. Both from Robert Pattinson. One is Robert Pattinson in The King, and one is Robert Pattinson in The Devil All the Time.
Oh, yeah, good picks.
Robert Pattinson in The Devil All the Time is playing a sleazy pedophile preacher.
Yeah.
And he's talking about delusions.
Yeah. That's wacky.
This insane accent that's from nowhere, but I'm obsessed with it. There are certain times where someone does a voice where I'm like, this is not a voice that you would ever hear in life. And technically, is this a bad choice? Maybe. But I'm fucking obsessed now.
Yeah.
And then his other one
in The King.
In The King, he plays the Dauphin.
Big Bows. Danny Cook.
He does this French accent and he's talking to Timothée Chalamet and talking to him about how foolish he is to have invaded France. And he's like, you must have huge balls. Yes, massive balls, and they Danny Cook.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
When Mick and we watched that movie together when we were living together in Arcata, and for weeks and months after, we would just look at each other and go, huge balls. And they Danny Cook.
Yeah. Our professors loved us.
Crazy for us.
Any questions? No, not Mick or Zach. No, not again. Not falling for that.
Huge balls. Danny Cook.
You know what? I've said it before, but The King is a good movie. That I want to revisit that. That's a good historical epic.
Yeah, I'm often against doing a a Shakespeare film where you take out the language, especially when you're like setting it in the time period. But I like The King quite a bit. That's an adaptation of Henry V.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
He's playing the same character Keanu is in My Own Private Idaho. Go back and listen to Look at man.
Look at man.
Oh, well, okay. Now we got to do it.
Yeah, now we got it. Yeah.
Now we have to go to the one, the only, Colonel Tom Parker. Hey,
sorry.
when I mentioned Elvis, I was playing.
Showman, and I'm the snowman.
Yeah, that shot. It's like so early in the movie, but where he's in like old man makeup in the casino, and the camera. This doesn't have to do with his voice, but the camera goes around him, and he just has this weird grin, and it just feels so awkward. I just laughed so hard. It's so bad. But I love it.
The part where he has his little cane and he does the "I am the snowman."
Yeah.
Like
You know,
in
he
the
gets-
going
Santa
past
Claus,
like
here
all
comes Santa Claus.
the whatchamacallit, the fucking machines, you know.
The slot machines?
It's creepy.
Yeah, no, he's literally goes, it was Elvis, the showman, and the Colonel, the snowman. Guys, I have a really fucking good recall on this movie because I watched it 4 goddamn times for our fucking episode.
And you're welcome.
And I don't like it.
Wow.
That might be the movie
so
I
funny.
like the least that I've seen the most. It's not the movie that I like the least.
Right.
But in terms of movies that I don't like that much,
Movies that you've endured.
fucking spent nigh on 10 hours watching.
Yeah. Wow. Weirdest voice. You know what? I'm even going to throw... this is a really popular one, but I'm going to throw Tom Hardy's Bane in there. Yes, that was an interesting creative choice that they did because you can't understand the motherfucker for like half the film.
Yes, when Gotham is ashes, then you have my permission to die.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have a roll of toilet paper lodged in my throat pathway.
That's about right. Yeah, that's about right.
I kind of like it though.
No, me too. No, I love it. I love it. It's a weird choice, but it's it's very interesting. Yeah. Anybody else got some weird ass voices?
Alexis, you got anything?
I like that.
I got nothing. You know what's so funny is that I feel like when you ask me these questions, it's like I've never seen a movie before in my life. I can't think of any accents.
Dude,
that were
I'm
weird.
right there
just
with
like,
you. I'm
Everything
sure
was great, right?
There's like 6. There's probably 6 or 7 great like things we can mention, and I just can't fucking think of a single one. Yeah, I know there's more.
I mean, I have one that could transition us out of our big topic and into our movie.
Yeah, that's it.
Alexis?
What? Alexis, don't hesitate.
The
Go
guy
for
from
it. We're
The
live.
Mummy.
Which
Is
guy
that the
from
one
The
that you were
Mummy?
going to say? The guy who's also in the movie we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
No. I was gonna say.
Did you guys not catch who that was?
No, I did.
I didn't.
Oh, you
Yeah,
did?
the guy who's
I'm just gonna say mine, which
go for
was Nick Cage in Con Air.
okay,
the
like a
Southern
southern
accent.
accent.
His southern accent that is
Put
also
down the bunny
from,
rabbit?
No, put the bunny down.
Yeah.
It is an accent that like is I think he's allegedly from Louisiana, but like in a much more real sense, he is a man from nowhere. So, but he's done some other wild voices, and one film in which he does a particularly wild voice is Peggy Sue Got Married.
Ooh.
Which is the film we're talking about today.
I can't wait to discuss this with you
It's
guys.
a 1986 film directed by Mr. Cage's uncle, Francis Ford Coppola.
That's right.
And starring Kathleen Turner and then, yes, Nicolas Cage. We also get an appearance from a young Jim Carrey.
A very young Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
This is...
He
I
was still
think the
on
only time-
In Living Color when he shot this, right?
yeah, I think so.
I think so. This either predated it or he was right starting on that show, because I think that was a 90s sitcom or live show.
Something like that.
Yeah.
In any case...
color.
it's It's an extremely weird performance from Nick Cage, and it's an extremely weird voice, and that's
Yeah.
why I
That's what I'm
suggested
talking
that as our
about.
topic.
But really quickly,
I've
let's
seen
read the
Nick Cage
description.
do some weird shit. This is the
Yeah.
weirdest.
Let's read the description of the film so people know what we're talking about.
Okay, so this is the plot of Peggy Sue Got Married. Peggy Sue Bodell attends her 25-year high school reunion after separating from her cheating husband, Charlie. She regrets the decisions she has made in her life, such as getting pregnant by Charlie in high school. When she faints at the reunion, she awakens in 1960. Given the chance to relive her life, she changes many things. However, some choices are more complicated, as she begins to see young Charlie's charm and true feelings. And this was also nominated for the Academy Awards for Best Actress in a Leading Role.
That's right.
Best Cinematography, and that's it.
Which, I'll be honest.
Oh, sorry, also Best Costume Design.
I'll be honest, I don't really see why. Because, again, I knew that going into the movie. Like, oh, this was, like, nominated for, like, Academy Award. This is a Francis Ford Coppola film. And then I watched it, and I was like, I'm not seeing the Oscar zhuzh here.
I get it for Kathleen Turner.
Yeah, she was
I
good.
thought she was kind of fantastic in this movie.
okay. I've only ever seen her before in fucking Romancing the Stone.
I've seen that. I didn't realize this, but I had heard her voice a lot because she voices Jessica Rabbit in Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Oh, really?
Who?
Interesting.
Kathleen Turner?
Kathleen Turner. Yeah, uncredited.
The only voice that I know she did was she played the house in Monster House with Steve Buscemi.
That's so fucking funny.
Okay,
I love that.
that is a
Two
weird
animated characters that I
Yeah.
find incredibly sexually appealing.
Oh, right, interesting.
What? You're not trying to fuck that house?
Not really.
Coward.
You know who I
didn't
kept
like the
trying to
front fascia.
place? Catherine Hicks, who plays Carol, one of her friends. I kept thinking, God, this lady, she looks so familiar. Her face is so familiar. And you know why? It's because she's the mom in the original Child's Play from the 80s.
Oh yeah.
And I kept trying to figure out.
wow.
I was like, I know this woman. I know her
That's-
face intimately. And it
That's
was
one of
Child's Play.
those. That's one of
So,
those
and
facts
also
you use
they-
when you play the Kevin Bacon game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, they made Joan Allen so homely looking in this movie.
I know.
Because
A very
I've
young
seen her in
Joan Allen.
Pleasantville, The Notebook, all these different things.
Jesus, born it's Jason.
She played
Christ.
Maddie.
Face
her other
Off.
friend.
That's right. She's in Face
short
Off.
Yeah,
hair
this is
glasses.
the
Yeah, she's
first
in Face
time
Off.
we see Nick Cage and Joan Allen together.
That's right. Wow, I didn't even put that together.
Yeah, and then he
Wow.
wears John Travolta's face and has sex with her.
It's so great. No one got waterfalled in this film. That's one of my favorite parts of the movie.
I will say credit to Coppola for just consistently being able to find talented actors before they break out.
Yeah,
Because he did the same thing with Harrison Ford in Apocalypse Now.
that's true.
You know, he just
a young Harrison Ford.
Yeah,
in
he
Apocalypse
really
Now.
has a knack for spotting talent. Because this movie, you look at it, and there's just so many people who later became famous.
Yeah,
Am I right in saying that none of us had seen this before?
that's correct.
No, definitely not.
All right, okay, let's go around. What did we think?
Alexis, you want to go first?
I hated it. I'm just kidding. I didn't love it. As a woman, I could not get behind what I felt like the message of the movie became by the end, which was,
I can see that.
well, you made your choices, so lie in that bed, and actually, it's gonna get, it could get better. If you have a near-death experience. What the fuck was that?
Yeah, the ending of this movie did kind of fucking bug me. I was like, are we gonna learn something about Charlie actually didn't cheat on her? No, no, it's just she's decided to be
And he
okay with
gave
it
the
because
worst excuse too. I can't even remember what he said about that fucking girl Janet, but I think he said something she almost she left me, so actually it would be great to go back to you.
I think what he said was I got bored of explaining who some band from the 60s were.
Yes, and I was like,
'Cause,
oh
she was
wow,
younger.
your young girlfriend isn't understanding your old references. How tragic.
Yeah, although I do have that experience with my girlfriend who's the same age as me. I'm like, what do you mean you don't know this movie from 1971? No, I need you to understand.
It's okay. She has the same experience with you with her newer movies.
Yeah, no, she has the same experience with me with any contemporary music.
Yeah.
Guys, I don't know what's happening in the culture.
Yeah, no, I'm there with you.
What's happening? I like to learn, though. I love to learn. I love to be told what's going on.
Yeah.
Proud of you.
So, okay, Mick, what did you think?
I'll be honest. I did not care for this film. I actually had a hard time paying attention. So if you're going to ask me like what happens in this movie, I can't help you. Because I was so distracted.
I definitely know what happens, but I was so distracted by the misogyny.
Alexis, as a woman, did not care for this film. Mick, as a man, did not care for this film. Nicolas Cage's voice.
Wow.
Again, as I said, like if we were in an alternate universe and Tim Burton had cast him as Pee Wee Herman, that's what it reminded me of. I just kept expecting him to just rattle off lines from Pee Wee Herman because it's like this is the only performance from Nicolas Cage that I can think of that as I was watching it, I'm just like, I don't know about this. I kept waiting for it to work for me, and it just never did. It never did.
I was genuinely confused.
It never picked up steam.
I didn't understand where the voice came from, or because he's saying pretty normally,
talking like this a little
when
bit.
he was doing his singing bit, like it's in a normal voice, but then as soon as he starts to talk, it's all.
I kind of think
like.
Yeah, they had this kind of like Beach Boy a cappella sound to them when he's doing that like barbershop quartet song. And there's a part of me that thinks that Nicolas Cage based his whole voice around the fact that, well, this guy, he sings a cappella, so
I feel like he'd probably talk like this a little bit. Like this would be his voice for the whole film.
I'm just like...
He sounds like SpongeBob.
As much as I don't really think the voice works, and this is kind of like the one Nick Cage performance I've seen where I'm like, I feel like he seems a little uncomfortable on screen. Like, he doesn't seem totally dialed in. I do kind of have to respect the swing, just because, like, on paper...
It's not a boring choice.
On paper, Charlie, like, could very much be, like, a pretty, straight ahead, like, cool guy of the 60s. Like, he's in a singing group, he's got a car. But instead, Nick Cage is like, what if I had fake teeth and I talked like this?
Yeah. Are you feeling it, Mr. Krabs?
His nickname is Crazy Charlie, so maybe it's a little fitting. I don't know.
But I feel like Crazy Charlie,
it's strange, though. Like, I was kind of just like, you're popular? You're such a weirdo.
Yeah.
Again, I don't think that they're necessarily choices that work, but I can see how we went from that to Nick Cage as the actor who we know and love today.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I'm kind of thankful he did that because had he not made such a wild choice, I would have been even less engaged with this film. I didn't hate it. It just never grabbed me.
Yeah, I don't want to, spend too much time on Nick Cage because I do think Kathleen Turner is giving
she was really good.
A really good and really interesting performance and like selling like the hurt of her relationship and like the years that have passed and like the wonder at getting to be back with her family and like some really good comedic bits like her discussion with Charlie after she like breaks things off with him and he goes up to her and he's like, when I think about you going out with other guys, I feel rejected, worthless, miserable. Yeah, good. Like her delivery of that is so fucking good.
Yeah, that made me laugh.
Her really joyful rendition of "My Country 'Tis of Thee" when like all of the other students look like they want to fucking die, and she is just like has a fucking pep in her step. I really think that like I get how she would be Academy Award nominated for this movie because, like, if this movie works at all for you, it works because of Kathleen Turner.
Yeah, she does really good at portraying, like, a woman who's, like, in a teenager's body, but also it's, like, it's kind of that catch between where it's like, oh, there's all these experiences, but also it's almost like now that I am back in this, it's like I'm regressing a little bit, you know? So there's some of that, like, regression kind of behavior, and I actually do have a favorite scene in this movie, though. Can I talk about it really quick? It's the one where, like, so she goes, so her and Charlie don't technically, like, break up, but she goes on, like, a date with, what is it, Michael Fitzsimmons.
Yes. Wow. Good recall.
Yeah. And, so they have some sort of, like, a passionate night beneath the stars, and he's, like, listing out poetry, and I was like, oh my God. Like, when I saw him, I was like, God, I don't know about, like, how this guy looks, but for sure I would have been into that kind of shit, like, in high school. I would have gobbled that shit up, nom 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 nom, you know? But on the second date that they go on, he's like, so here's the plan. Right after graduation, we're gonna leave. And she's like, okay. And he's like, and we're going to go to Utah. And immediately my thought was, no, not with all the Mormons. And then her thought was, what? Like, not Paris, not, like, New York or something? And he's just like, no, Utah's where it's at. And she's just like, but why Utah? And then he's like, well, what was her name? Rachel or something. And she's like, who's Rachel? And then he's like, oh, this girl that I met last summer, and, you know, we've been talking, and da-da-da, and, you know, like, and polygamy's legal there. And she's like, what?
That
shit had me rolling.
You buried the lead. You should have opened with polygamy.
Oh, my God. Yeah, that's really funny.
I mean, he was straight up about it, you know, at least he's like, hey, like, I already got you a sister wife, you know?
Nice. Nice.
That's always a hell of a pitch.
Yeah.
Hey, no. Don't worry. I already have one.
Got one.
What I'm saying is I already have one for you.
They're out in the car right now.
He's literally like, don't worry about it. I'm going to take care of both of you, and you can both just chill at the house together.
Wow. Yeah.
Oh, boy.
This was such a weird Coppola film.
Yeah.
This is a weird-ass Coppola film.
It's why I find him so fucking interesting as a filmmaker.
It makes him even more intriguing.
I highly encourage anyone to watch Patrick Willems' like 2-part breakdown of Coppola's career.
And Patrick Willems, he's a YouTuber.
Yeah, he's a YouTuber.
Yeah.
It is like insane the periods he went through, because this is after his kind of failure of American Zoetrope. So after his big successes with the 2 Godfather movies, The Conversation and Apocalypse Now, he creates his own studio called American Zoetrope, and kind of bets the entire thing on this one movie called One from the Heart, which is like visually very in line with like old MGM musicals. And it's like really elaborate sets. And apparently the work culture at American Zoetrope is just like beautiful and nice. And it's really a refreshing change for Coppola after working on Apocalypse Now.
Right. The Heart of Darkness.
Yeah, like, there would be like, crew dinners every Friday night. They would like stop work and everyone would like have a big Italian meal together.
Nice.
And One from the Heart comes out and gets trashed by critics and bombs, and the studio goes under, which is like, if you were writing a movie and you were like, okay, so my filmmaker is going to lose the farm on a movie called One from the Heart, that would be too on the nose. Like, it's just like, you couldn't write something less subtle. But after that, Coppola has this like period where, he's just taking various different projects to, try to get himself out of debt, which he eventually does through a combination of another Coppola film that we have covered, Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Hell yeah.
Which he is like the first movie he ever got in on time and under budget, which is crazy.
That movie was under budget?
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
But it's a combination of that and getting into the wine business.
That's right.
That's actually where he's made most of his money.
Yeah. Now, he sold Coppola Vineyards, right?
Yeah.
To finance his film that he's currently working on.
Yeah, because he will never change because he's a goddamn maverick and a superstar. But yeah, during the period after American Zoetrope goes under, he makes all these weird projects, and Peggy Sue is one of them. Like he made Jack, that Robin Williams movie. Where
I still haven't seen
I've seen that.
That is a Francis Ford Coppola film, Alexis.
I did not know
what's that about again?
I've never seen it, but isn't it like a 10-year-old boy looks like an old man and then he makes out with Fran Drescher?
And that's played by Robin Williams, right?
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've seen it, but it's like, yeah, there's something like wrong with his how fast he progresses or something. I think developmentally. So like by the time he's 10, he's literally looks like Robin Williams as
so he's
a 40-year-old.
It's kind of like Benjamin Button a little bit.
It's like Benjamin Button, but it sucks way harder because you age really fast.
Interesting.
It's not like you age backwards. It's you get old rapidly.
Oh.
It's more like Beach that makes you old, but just one person and time.
So
makes
it's a little bit like Big with Tom Hanks, where it's like a disease.
I think so.
Interesting.
I believe that's the premise.
I gotta say, you guys are selling me on it. I might check
I've
that
never
out.
seen it. I might watch it.
I'm sure it's awful.
But yeah, it's he is a filmmaker who refuses to be pinned down.
Yeah. Which again, I've worked with some crew members over the last year who know people who are currently working on
Megalopolis.
Yes, Coppola's current film, and they all say, "Oh my god, everything I'm hearing is it's a shit show. It is a horror show. It's people are trying to jump ship," and that's how I know this is going to be a masterpiece.
He's cooking, baby.
Because that's exactly what they said about Godfather. It's exactly what they said about Apocalypse Now. And it's exactly what they said about Dracula. And every time they're right, and it's always great.
Someone told him he fell off. Ooh, he needed that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you're telling me he's down 30 points? We're going into the fourth quarter?
Yep.
Francis, start dropping threes, baby. Come on.
Man, yeah, that's it. Yeah, I feel like that's just the rule. When people are saying that, man, what a fucking disaster. That's how you know it's going to be good.
Again, much like James Cameron, Francis Ford Coppola needs doubters.
Yes. Yeah, he's like Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
It's I took that personal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Interesting.
you do. You need somebody to put you down so that you can tell them, "What's up, bitch? Guess who's on top now?"
Exactly.
And that's why we always ask you guys to send us some fucking hate mail.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Email us at
You need to put some fire under my
filmmagerspod.
butthole.
Can you imagine what a better show this would be if people hated us more?
Yeah, no, we'd actually talk about this movie.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, guys,
My
if
mom
you
is
can't
giving
tell
me
how
the
much...
nastiest look because I said butthole.
Oh, wow. That's hilarious.
Wow. Oh, man. Yeah, I didn't even consider how you're recording in a room with your mother. That's...
I can't get over Nicolas Cage's pompadour.
Oh, my God.
This
his
weird
blonde
thinning,
pump.
It's are you going bald, or you just got so much hair going on and it's so blonde? Yeah, everything about him is just so fucking weird. Crazy Charlie.
Again, as
His
you know,
hair
you may or
almost
not
looks like this weird sandy color that I was almost like, is it gray? Is it blonde?
Yeah, I kept asking that too.
I couldn't tell. I'm like, are you an old man or are you a teenager?
He's again, if you don't know this, Nicolas Cage his birth name is Nicolas Coppola. He's Francis Ford Coppola's nephew. He's Italian. He is an Italian man with dark hair. You should not try to dye that blonde.
Yeah.
It is not going to work. It will not take.
It did not look good. It did not look
No,
good. It was
no.
bad. It was bad hair.
Yeah.
Although I will admit, I did love all of Peggy Sue's hairstyles. I was just like, oh, this is very, very, very like 60s. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else? What else about this movie?
I
also had never seen this, and I pulled this off my list because I had, long been curious about watching this movie.
Yeah, I was excited going into it. I was like, a Coppola film I'd never heard of. It's a rom-com. It's got some fantasy elements. It's been nominated for some things. This should be interesting, and it was. But, yeah, it's a little odd.
I might...
Huh?
Oh, I was just going to say, I might like this movie the most out of anyone here, and it's still like a 3 out of 5.
Yeah.
Alexis, you had a thing?
Yeah, the guy who played Michael Fitzsimmons, his name is like Kevin J. O'Connor, and he plays Benny in The Mummy. And when because I've seen The Mummy so many times, I always thought that he was doing a voice for Benny. But then when I watched this movie, I was like, oh no, I think this is his voice. Like, it's
he
just
be like that.
But it isn't though, because he's also in There Will Be Blood, and he's got a normal voice in that. So I think this is maybe his go-to, where he's like, I'm going to play an interesting character. I'm gonna dust off this oldie.
Or is he doing a normal voice in There Will Be Blood, and he actually talks like this?
I don't know. That's interesting.
It's also really funny.
Now I gotta go track down an interview with him so I can know for sure.
He'll
because
be our
I always
first
thought that
celebrity guest on this
Benny's
show.
voice in The Mummy was like very. I always assumed it was a very put upon voice, and now I'm second guessing myself. I'll never be able to look at him the same because I'm always going to see this beatnik boy who is talking about rat puke while he's trying to bone some girl in a fucking dirt field.
Wow.
Real classy, buddy.
That about sums it up right there.
Man,
Yeah.
what was I... Oh, you know what else I found very frightening in this film?
Huh?
Happens early on.
Huh.
There's a scene at the high school reunion where Jim Carrey does coke.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's the last thing we need to give Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
Jim Carrey on stimulants is one of the scariest things I can picture.
I can't imagine.
He has all of the energy
He's
you could
naturally
ever
at
handle.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of Jim Carrey, I will say that was another takeaway that I had, which is I always love every now and then when you see a very successful star very early in their career where they're playing a supporting character. And with Jim Carrey, very clearly you knew he was going places because in this film, every scene he was in, obviously there's the benefit of hindsight, but I was very drawn to him. He definitely has fantastic screen presence in this film, and he kind of steals some of the scenes. And it was just a matter of time before they made him the lead in films. Because, you can very much see the foundations of this is going to be one of America's cinema's best comedians coming to you. So I really enjoyed his part. He had an awful haircut as well.
He really did.
I'm so sorry. I'm still obsessed with the hair. When everyone was playing an older version in the beginning of the film at the reunion, everyone just had the same hair. They just did Party City spray paint gray on the side, and they called it a day. Yeah, the hair bothered me in this film. I wasn't digging the hair.
Doodle. Yeah, the 80s. Okay, but that was the thing that I was saying. Joan Allen, I know that this woman can look like a babe, and they made her look like the most homely.
She is a babe.
I'm like, this woman's only supposed to be in her late 30s, early 40s maybe. And they made her look like a 60-year-old 80s grandma with this I don't know, those giant fucking glasses and the little
she kind of had the
around her head.
She had the America Ferrera Ugly Betty thing going on, which is okay, you're trying to make them ugly, but it's not really working, and it's almost kind of weirdly offensive.
You gotta take off her glasses to realize she's pretty.
Why glasses aren't ugly? That's not how this works. I'm so sick of that shit. Hey, she's wearing glasses. She's ugly.
You need to get a Ken to take the glasses off.
Yeah.
One scene that I really did love, though, was when fucking Peggy Sue is just like, we should all hang out. And they're like, get real. It's date night. And she's like, no, we should have a sleepover. And they're just like, Peggy Sue, you've always been so immature. And then they just like dip out on her, because they're like, we have to go hang out with our boyfriends. And then Peggy Sue's just like, ugh, but I really did want a sleepover. And I'm just like, that's just so real, because at some point people decide that they're too old for sleepovers. And I say, you are never too old for a good sleepover.
You tell that to me and Sage. That buddy's that guy's having a sleepover here all the time. He's always on my goddamn couch.
I love that for you.
Did he sleep in my bed since I've been here?
No.
Okay, good.
Not yet.
Oh God.
What was your question, Mick?
If Sage has slept in his bed.
Sometimes he sleeps in my bed when I'm gone, and I can always tell because he never quite makes
It's never
the bed
quite right?
Yeah, it's never quite right. He always puts one of the pillows in the middle, and I'm like, Sage has been here.
Yeah, that's his
When's the
calling card.
last time
his
you
calling
slept
card.
in your bed?
I don't know, maybe a couple weeks ago. Anytime I find a pillow in the middle, I know he's been there. I'm like a detective dusting for prints.
I'm gonna start moving your pillow.
Yeah, God, I'm just gonna
just
God
to
damn
fucking,
it, Sage was here
just to
again?
fucking gaslight you.
I was gone for an hour.
Yeah, but he would do that though.
He would. That's why
he
it would
would
work.
appear for an hour.
That's why it would work.
Sleep in your bed
Because I would believe it. I'd be like, you'd be like, no, Mick, I'm just messing with you. I'm like, no, you're not. I know he's been here. I know he's been here.
I love talking about this movie.
Yeah. Yeah, I got nothing. I'll be honest.
You know what I'll say? I think that
Will this be our
we
shortest episode yet?
it's probably going to be up there.
Probably.
You know what? We should. And you know what? It's probably good because we've been doing some real fucking long episodes lately. But
Yeah.
I think that America deserves another movie with Jim Carrey and Nicolas Cage together. I don't think we saw the full potential of that.
Yeah, I mean that's a good point. Like when they were on screen together, like well, I don't think I've ever seen this before.
No,
Seeing
and I don't
these
think
two wild personalities in the same frame.
Yeah, and they're not really getting to go like fully wild.
No,
I'd like to see that. Make Face Off 2 with Nick Cage and Jim Carrey.
Oh God. Oh God. That would be something fucking crazy.
Yeah, it would.
Nice.
I feel like Jim Carrey would definitely take the waterfall to like the next level.
Oh my God, I don't even want to picture what he'd do with
He'd probably
that.
use his foot.
Oh man. We got anything else? I feel like I'm letting my mom down because I know she likes this movie.
Does she? Well,
Yeah.
what is she? Has she said what she likes about it? Maybe we can talk about that.
Yeah.
Give us some
find
material
some
here.
more things to talk about. She said on Sunday, Peggy Sue Got Married is a great movie. You will love it. Hope the movie is going well.
Oh, nice. All right. Well,
It's not a lot.
yeah, it's not a
there.
lot we can take apart there.
I did feel like it was kind of more boring.
It was fun seeing Helen Hunt that young. I don't think I've ever seen her that young in a movie
Oh shit!
before.
I completely forgot she's in this.
Wait,
That's right.
Was Helen Hunt the sister?
The
was Helen
daughter in the 80s.
Oh wow!
Yeah, she was in like the beginning, right? Beginning and end.
Yeah,
She
she's in the
bookended the
beginning
film?
and the very
Yeah.
end. Yeah.
Crazy. I will say there were some nice like multiple exposures at the end. That felt very Coppola.
That's nice.
I thought the stuff at the country club was kind of dumb, and I didn't really like it.
Yeah. Yeah. Alexis.
I never want to go to my 25th high school reunion and like see pictures of the most popular kids on the walls.
Awful.
Like I will literally burn the place down.
Yeah,
I'm
and
don't
that's how
do that.
Alexis was arrested for arson.
Yeah, and I'm very modest, so I don't like seeing my picture up places.
I don't think I'd even ever go in the first place to a high school reunion.
Oh, I'd definitely go.
Not
I'd
me.
100. When my 10-year
I don't
one
know if I
happens,
would
I'll
go
for sure
either.
go. Yeah, no, I'm definitely going. I'm getting tanked.
I have no connection to my high school whatsoever. So, yeah, I would so not be into
Yeah,
that.
I just
I would definitely go.
I have no interest in
sow
knowing
chaos.
like who got married to who owns a house and stuff because all I can say is I sure don't.
Got him.
Look at me,
Got
I'm
him.
poor. What do you got working for you?
Freaking gang.
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah. Wait, hold on.
Huh.
Mick, you're 28?
8, yes.
20. So yours would be this year.
Would it?
Or next year.
Would it? What?
Your 10-year high school reunion.
Yes, it would be, actually. You're
Wow.
right. And I haven't
And
heard
Alexis,
shit.
yours would be now. Yours would be this year.
Actually her,
No,
her
actually,
10-year reunion
mine
is
would have
happening
been
as we're
last
recording
year
this.
because I graduated
Yours would have been
in
last year.
2012 when
Which
I was
you-
17.
And you didn't go.
You skipped it.
What?
You skipped
I don't even know if
skipped
we
it.
had one. I don't even know if we
okay.
had one.
They didn't invite
I mean,
Alexis.
to be fair, I wasn't on Facebook last year, so like I guess if there was one, I wouldn't have known about it. I don't really follow any people from high school. Still, although I did go to this fucking concert like a couple weeks ago in Fresno, and it was like having a high school reunion. So it's like I got what I missed out on. Yeah. So
How was that for you?
Yeah, was that fun or was that awful?
you know what? It was actually fun. Well, first I saw my ex with his new girlfriend, which was not fun, but very funny.
What?
Very funny because it was almost like I materialized him because I thought, oh, he's friends with the band. I wonder if he's going to be here. And then like literally like two people in front of me in line, and I was like, what the fuck? Okay, but then like later on, I saw a bunch of people from high school, and I was like, the homies, what's up? You know, and then watched the show, and that was great. So 10 out of 10.
Nice. Well, that was 10 out of 10. This movie wasn't really 10 out of 10.
No, it's a solid 2.5 for me.
Yeah, it's, 2.5 out of 5.
Yes.
Not out of 10.
You're right, correct.
That would be pretty harsh.
Yeah, no, I again, a 2.5 for me is where it's just its main sin is being boring.
Yeah, I would have given it a 3 out of 10, but then she got back together with her husband, and I was like, boo.
3 out of 10.
Fuck that guy.
Oh, wow.
Leave him. You can still fit into your dress from high school, bitch. You can pull something else, you know? I'm like, I have faith. But she did not. She could not hold out long enough to... She just loves that crazy Charlie. Didn't like it.
This
Yeah.
feels firmly like a women's story written by a man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has that vibe.
Yeah, and it's almost like it was trying to subvert like the tropes of like the 60s, but it kind of ended up like reinforcing some of them in some ways. It's like, oh yeah, it's cool, I can go crazy now, and actually the life that I once had is better than maybe anything new that I could have come up with. And I'm just like, really? Okay, I guess.
Yeah, that's kind of it's kind of a pessimistic ending.
Yeah, to
But
just
you
end
know
up
what?
with your
I'm glad I saw it.
crazy Charlie.
I'm glad I knocked it off my list.
Yeah, I'm really glad you guys watched this film. Yeah, it was a lot of fun making it.
Oh yeah. R.I.P. Paul Rubens.
Oh my
yeah.
God! Yeah, we didn't even get it. Yeah, so okay.
Oh, wait, has
Can
that
we-
happened since? Well,
No, we haven't talked about it. Let's fucking get
We
into
haven't
this.
talked about
Okay,
it.
so last month
Yeah.
I
We have
started
to
the month
address this.
defending. Yeah, okay. This is okay. We're done talking about the movie. I'm talking about this right now. So last month, I started the month by defending Paul Rubens, being like, you know what, he got canceled for jerking off in a porno theater. That's what a porno theater's fucking for. You leave him alone. He's a
Yeah.
goddamn adult. He's not jacking off in front of kids. Then Alexis sent me an article, which I thought was current, but turned out it was from 2004. That was
And the statute of limitations is, gone since then. So,
a case that was brought against Paul Rubens and then dropped that was him owning a bunch of
erotica magazines.
Yes, that seemed to depict potentially underage people performing
But-
sex acts.
Yeah, but also he was a vintage collector of erotica, so he bought a lot of these items in bulk, and supposedly the guy that he was always like buying things from said like there's no way he could have known like every single image that was in these like hundreds and hundreds of magazines that he was like purchasing in bulk. So well
The other Paul Rubens fact that I learned that made me a wee bit uncomfortable is that he was good buddies with Jeffrey Jones, apparently.
What did he do? Who's that guy again?
He's the guy who plays the principal in Ferris Bueller and
Oh,
who
yeah,
also is
he
a
was a
convicted
pedophile.
pedophile. So that doesn't
They hung
super
out.
strengthen his case for me.
Yeah, but you did say that Paul Rubens did nothing wrong.
I didn't say that.
You did. That was
no,
on the
I
show.
didn't. It was not on the show.
Alexis, he said
if you
that,
go
didn't
back
he?
and listen, I said Paul Rubens is on my shit list, and then the next week he died.
That's not
Okay,
no.
so Allison
Wait,
straight up was like, guys, this is mad suspicious. Like that your episode just dropped and he died. So it's a bad look. This is a bad PR look for us.
It is a bad look. Also,
But I would like to reiterate that I love Pee-wee's Big Adventure, and I did say that.
yeah, I hope Paul Rubin is up in the big sky right now looking for his bike for eternity.
You know, I'm just gonna say
Paul
I will
Rubens did nothing wrong.
neither endorse nor decry Paul Rubens. I do not have enough information. I don't.
Actually,
You're giving his death a 2.5 out of 5.
I'm
Actually,
suspicious. I'm suspicious
these
of some
two
stuff.
movies are connected too.
Are
Do you know
they?
why?
How is this connected to?
Because- Ba-na-na-na-na-na-na. They play Tequila in the middle of Peggy Sue, and that's the song that he dances to in Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
That's
So,
right. With
they're
the
connected by soundtrack, guys.
deep cuts.
All right. Well, Paul Rubens, I really hope you didn't jack off in front of any kids, but I guess we'll never know.
That's right. You'll be missed.
Also,
I'm really excited.
Hey.
I'm really excited to not have to follow up on this story.
I plan on bringing it up
this is
every
like
episode.
a 3-week endeavor.
Yeah.
It took from
The Paul Rubens saga continues.
It took from the beginning of July to the end of July for me to receive information that potentially contradicted my original statement that he was not a pedophile. Then I realized that article was from 2004 and he was acquitted of those charges. Then I found out he was friends with Jeffrey Jones and I was like, still seems a little suspicious. And then he fucking died.
Yeah.
So
this is
we've
why
been
we
on a
shouldn't
roller
do-
coaster. Also,
It's been a
keep
Rubens
in mind
coaster.
we are artists and not academic researchers. 'Cause
Listen,
clearly
we're
our
taking-
article research needs some help.
Yeah, we read the headlines and that's it.
I read the article, I just didn't read the fucking date on it. Listen, life comes at you pretty fast.
Yes.
All
Also, rest in peace, William Friedkin.
Yeah, William Friedkin.
That's really sad.
That's so fucking sad. Director of The Exorcist.
Who's William
and,
Friedkin?
Director of The Exorcist and The French Connection.
who else?
Sorcerer.
Yeah,
You know
one
who
of
else
one
died
of
though,
my
and it
favorite
was really
movies.
sad?
Who?
Angus Cloud. He was one of the newer actors
Yeah.
on. He's a newer actor, and he was on Euphoria season 1 and season 2.
Yeah, very sad.
He's only 25. He's literally like your age. So
Yeah. Well, this has been a bummer way to close out the episode.
Yeah. Yeah, well done.
But
I'm
know
here
what?
to bring us down.
We're at a point where I feel like we've generated enough content for this week. What are we talking about next?
So, our saga of back to school month continues. Get ready, buy those pencils, buy those backpacks. We're going back to school. Next week, we're going to be going back to school in South Central Los Angeles.
Ooh,
we are
Los
going to be
Angeles.
we're going to be checking out 1988's Stand and Deliver, directed by
Heck yeah.
Ramon Menendez. It is a really good picture. I think I've seen it like once or twice when I was younger. I really, really enjoyed it. And I can't wait to revisit it. You can find it on Tubi, which we are proudly almost
Tubi.
We'd love to be sponsored
by the way,
you, Tubi.
thank you, everyone. We now have over 100 followers on Spotify.
Oh, wow.
So,
Wow.
if that doesn't convince you,
There are
Tubi, that
dozens
we
of
have
them.
we have a following
Wow.
now. Come on, guys.
We're in the dozens now.
Sponsor our show.
That's great.
We could get so many more people to use your free service.
And you can also rent it on Amazon Prime Video.
When's our 1 year?
This is episode 48, I believe. So it'll be 4 weeks from now.
Wow. Can't wait.
Wow.
Yeah.
We got to do something.
We got to do something special. Yeah, we should definitely have a Film Majors party of some kind. Fans, you are invited.
We can invite our
wherever you
100
are.
monthly listeners.
All yes.
Yeah,
yes.
I'll make a really big Zoom call.
There we go.
All right.
Well, this honestly, out of all the episodes we've done, this was one of them.
This sure fucking was.
And I'm so
really
happy I
was.
could have shared it with you guys.
Well, Mick told you where to find next week's movie. If
That's
you want to
right.
find us, you can find us on social media at Film Majors Pod on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. And if you want to shoot us an email, shoot us some hate mail. Get us fired up and ready to make a better episode than this one. You can email us at filmmakerspod@gmail.com. And yeah, just, really berate us. Fucking come for our throats. Make me mad. Make me feel like Francis Ford Coppola needing to prove something. I'm going to make my apocalypse now, and that'll be our stand and deliver episode.
Damn right.
Yeah. I'm ready to be
right,
slip,
folks.
slap, patty whacked all around, so.
Goddamn right.
Goddamn right. All right, folks. We'll see you next week. Tune in. Bye.
Bye.